Welcome back to the Seattle Seahawks franchise. Believe it or not, we're actually winning games again here in Seattle, and none bigger than the stretch we just had, where we took down all three of our divisional opponents, leading us to a hot streak and back into the playoff race. We're still below 500, and we're going up against a dynamic Jets team who's been on a very big hot streak of their own. They've collected 7 wins this year and currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they'll play us fresh off of their bye week. This unit is obviously led out by Aaron Rodgers, and they are clearly going for it all this year, or at least however long Rodgers decides to stay on the field. But the future pieces of this Jets team may be at the skill positions. Some big names we'll need to be aware of are guys like Breece Hall, but even more worrisome is Garrett Wilson, mainly because our DBs struggle to cover #1 receivers. And on the other side of the ball, we'll need to steer clear the direction of Sauce Gardner. This guy brings back the days of Revis Island, and it'll be interesting to see if our offense can operate on a successful pace. The Jets will not have Tyrone Smith in this game, and Abraham Lucas will make his return after suffering from a torn labrum. If you missed the last episode, I had some draft talks about who I'm focusing on for the upcoming NFL draft, and I highly suggest that you go back to check it out so that you can give me feedback in the comment section on how you would rebuild this team. But that's looking ahead, and this is what we're looking forward to today. A win could lead us back to being 500, and dare I say it, a playoff chance in our first year. And of course, thank you guys so much for all your support. Please subscribe and like this video as we're underway. Michael Dixon on kickoff duties to start, and here is Xavier Gipson taking this back, and a nice job by the special teams to start them behind the 25. And we'll see Aaron Rodgers attempt to lead this team out for their 5th straight victory. There's just so many new weapons here for him to succeed, but some familiar ones help as well, as Allen Lazard, the former Packer, will lead them to a first down. Our secondary needs to be on their A game if we want to stop this air raid attack. But here's a run with Breece Hall, and a good one up the middle as he'll get them another 5. This offense can attack on all levels, and this is the type of game that will reveal if we're equipped to face it head on. And there's Garrett Wilson who hauls it in to move the sticks. After an incompletion, Rodgers will work from empty. He scans downfield, fires across, huge collision, and somehow that's ruled a catch. The Seahawks opted to challenge this, but that's my fault for not remembering when the ball hits the ground, it's a completion. Obviously a weird sequence and controversial call to start the game, but we're here. And now Hall puts it on the ground, but unfortunately the Jets fall on top of it. That was Tyrese Knight who was able to draw the ball loose, and we almost had a ball don't lie moment. And here's Wilson. That's definitely a catch and a touchdown for the Jets to start. No controversy here. That was the rookie Nehemiah Pritchett that gets beat, and Aaron Rodgers opted to pick on him, and it pays off. Sam Howell is probably excited for the weather to have a change of scenery. Guys were gliding on the field as if it was a hockey arena, and it was a tough way to move the ball last game. But we're off to a great start here as Metcalf takes this inside the 30, as he is inching closer to a 1,000-yard season. Single high look on first down. They go with Kenneth Walker, and Walker has been on quite of a slump as of late. He's had big games, but the explosive plays have been a bit radio silent. But there's a big run right behind Tyler Steen, who bulldozes forward for Walker to pick up a first down. Now Lockett on the move on this play. Good run, but a flag will bring them back another 10 yards. Tough break as we go with a 2-back set. It's Charbonnet, big hole, and a late flag on the play, and another hold. This is giving me shades of our offensive line struggles in the first half of the season, as that is Tyler Steen who's been great for us. Just your average 2nd and 28 play here. And Howell can't even get the pass off. Offensive line struggles continue. And now a hard count, and another flag. Oh boy. But this is on the Jets for offsides. Thank goodness, because these 5 yards will certainly help this situation. As Howell fires down the seams, and he's got him for the touchdown. Tyler Lockett. How about a 3rd and 23 play, and Lockett just beats Carter Jr. and a dart right into the arms of Lockett to tie this game. Exciting first quarter, and I'm sure we'll get more of it going forward. And a beautiful comeback route by Mike Williams as they get into Seahawk territory. And we've seen Rodgers make that throw a bunch of times. We've also seen this a bunch of times, a free play, and a completion for the first down. So the Jets will easily decline this.
Offside.
Our team has been quite undisciplined to start. Hand off to Hall looking for space, and he'll find some and does a good job of gaining 6. Possibly another run as they bring in their fullback. They run play action, quick toss, and Wilson has it down the sidelines. No chance for Julian Love to catch up. Wilson has his second of the day. I mean, it's not even fair when Julian Love is lined up against Wilson, and he just makes an in and out cut. The separation is just too much for us to handle at that point. Hopefully we can respond, but our offense is already in a 3rd and long situation. That's completed, but a flag is on the play, and you already know which direction this is headed. Charles Cross was the culprit there. We just keep shooting ourselves in the foot with these calls, as that completion is going to count, but well short of the marker, so this drive will end with a punt. And Rodgers and company have taken their next drive past midfield, as Hall doesn't go anywhere. It's the big cat Leonard Williams returning home for a TFL. That's the first sign of life from our defense so far, but it's been mostly that today as Wilson surpasses 100 yards receiving, and we're still in the first half. As Breece Hall takes us up the middle for another first down. Same formation as their last touchdown. It's the same play, but this time Wilson will be pushed out of bounds by Woolen. We want to see more out of Tariq Woolen. It's been a tough year, still in search of his first interception. And he almost had it there. Oh man, Tariq Woolen with his speed could have easily housed this, but it's another drop pick. 4-man front on 3rd down, and the Seahawks bring the blitz. Quick throw, and broken up. Nice play again by Woolen, and this will end with just 3. Down by 10 on the road, but the way this has been going, I'd say we're catching a break. As JSN makes a nice grab over the middle, and there's plenty of time to make something happen here before the half. Jets send the blitz, it's picked up, slung out to Fant, and he's got it turning the corner for an even bigger gain. And Noah Fant is fired up. 42 seconds to go. Howell drops back, firing down the seams, and he's got JSN with enough speed for the touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, his second big play of the drive. And this was a straight up sprint, and no one even noticed him, and another beautiful ball by Howell for his second touchdown of the day. The downside of that explosive play is leaving too much time for Aaron Rodgers to push the ball downfield, and his connection with Allen Lazard will get them close enough for Greg Zuerlein. His try from 50, left hash, is good for them to take a 6-point lead going into the half. But the Jets defense was very stingy to open up the second half, and we struggled to pick up a first down, and it led to another punt by Michael Dixon, as he bombs us deep into Jets territory. Back to return is Xavier Gipson to try to make something happen, but just gets past the 20. But how will our defense fare? We've allowed so many big plays to Garrett Wilson, and maybe the best way to attack is up front, as Rodgers gets sacked by the rookie Byron Murphy. That's certainly one way to get us more motivated, and it'll be interesting what they choose to call on 3rd and long. But the pressure strikes again, and it's back-to-back sacks. That's Uchenna Nwosu, who's really picked up steam as of late, and both offenses start the second half with a punt. Thomas Morstead from the back of his own end zone tries to fire this as far as he can, and Tyquan Thornton does a nice job to start us off past midfield. Jets showing a double mug look, and will opt to hand it off to Charbonnet, and he'll get us a nice gain of 3. Run game has been tough against this defensive line, but we've made the most out of what we can so far, and this connection with Tyler Lockett doesn't go anywhere. 3rd downs have been the biggest challenge for us today, and hopefully we can throw the Jets off with something they don't expect. How about a screen to Charbonnet? Excellent blocking up front. Gets another, and down the sideline he goes. Finally pushed out of bounds inside the 15, and Charbonnet gives us a burst of energy that we hopefully can end with 6. And this 2nd down run only gets us a yard. And the ground game continues to struggle as Hassan Reddick takes a few plays off. Smith-Njigba lined up in the slot on 3rd down. Howell with time. Goes over the middle, Lockett has it, and crosses the pylon into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown. Seattle gets 6, and we have a tie game. And the kick by Myers will give us the 1-point lead. We've got an excellent game as both teams are trying to keep their winning streak alive. However, they still have Aaron Rodgers, but we have held them down here in the second half. Not that time, as Conklin's catch will get them across the Seattle territory. Now 2 tight ends and a fullback. It's a run, and Breece Hall is stuffed. Nicely done by the guys up front, and we'll see how they handle this 3rd and long situation. The coverage looks great. Rodgers now trying to buy some time, improvising and now taking off. No one accounted for the quarterback. Past the 30, big hit, and he puts it on the ground. Seattle has it, and Rodgers is injured and will be out for the rest of the game. What a turn of events as we jump into the 4th quarter. It's a run up the middle for Walker, but more laundry on the field. And our O-line is killing us today with these flags. It's another 1st and long, and we're running out of plays to figure out how to make this work, as Howell zips this across and completed to Metcalf. He's got it, and outrunning Sauce Gardner to get 19 of it back. Gotta love how reliable Metcalf has been all year, and here's Charbonnet getting enough for the 1st down. Walker back in the backfield on the new fresh set of downs. It's a handoff, big hole up the middle, and Walker will blaze near the 30. Biggest run of the day, and the ground game finally catches a break. Charbonnet in on 3rd down, as Howell will drop back to pass. Lofted for the end zone, caught for the touchdown! Jackson Smith and Jigba, another big-time score. It's against the linebacker one-on-one, but either way, this catch was incredible through traffic, and Seattle extends their lead here on the road. Well, since Aaron Rodgers got lit up, we're going to see the backup QB Tyrod Taylor. Our game plan will need to shift a bit since he will bring more of a scrambling presence to his game. But his first pass is completed for a gain of 6 on the outside. Rodgers has that pocket presence to make every throw, but Taylor might take off at any moment and will need to be ready. Like he does right here, past midfield and sliding into Seattle territory. Right on cue as the Jets will reset the sticks. Now from the gun, firing this outside and caught by Garrett Wilson, who is still just as dominant as he's been all game. We just don't have answers for number 1 receivers. As that's caught again by Wilson, tons of space to run and flying inside the 10. How about 10 catches for over $150? 3:46 to go on 1st and goal. Pump fake, end zone, touchdown! Wilson has his 3rd of the game, and the Jets are a 2-point conversion away from tying it up. They'll line up for it here. From empty, back of the end zone, he's got it! Tie game. Even with Nick Cross draped all over him, Lazard secures the catch. What a fantastic drive and finish we have here in MetLife, as Walker gets wrapped up in the backfield. Devon Kinlaw crushed him for a loss of 3. Now trying it through the air, but too much pressure and momentum is beginning to shift here in this game. This feels like a must-have on this 3rd down. Howell going over the middle of the field. It's caught, and another flag on the play. The penalty is thrown for another hold. This is just a rough game for the trenches today as Cross is caught on the hold again. And there's barely any breathing room from this part of the field. So they go with a conservative route as Walker will make the most out of this to give Dixon more space to hammer it away. 4 touchdowns for Sam Howell, and somehow it's still not enough, as this is an excellent kick by Dixon to flip the field. A nice return there by Gibson, and we'll see if we can manage the bloodbath Wilson's put on us today. The Jets will have about a minute to go, and there's the answer to our question. Wilson has another catch and another 1st down for New York. Wilson now lined up in the slot, and Tyrod opts to go underneath, and Conklin will put them in great position here to possibly win this game. And that would be Byron Murphy's last play of the game. Exactly a minute to go. It's Hall on the outside, 1st down and more, and the writing is on the wall for this one. This has been a frustrating battle for the defense. It looked promising last episode, but we continue to fail at making the necessary plays, and it clearly costed us. Not just this game, but pretty much the whole season. As Zerline lines it up with the clock winding down, he takes the kick, And it's good, sending the Seahawks to a heartbreaking loss and a long, quiet flight back to the West Coast. This one stings as we had multiple chances to close it out but couldn't finish. It's a tough pill to swallow and probably one of the most frustrating losses of the season. Missed opportunities and key mistakes cost us in critical moments. And we wasted a 4-touchdown game by Sam Howell today. Running game continues to be a wild card each week, and it's not the fault of our backs. Our guys in the trenches need to step up and stop getting called for holding. Through the air, the ball was spread out evenly and some big catches were made, but no one reached 100 yards. And nicely done by Lockett and JSN to find the end zone twice. Tyrell Dodson did lead the team in tackles, and if you looked at this stat line with the few TFLs that we had, the ability to get in the backfield, and the forced fumbles, you would think we had a great game. But it's a mirage of how badly this unit has played and allowing Garrett Wilson 3 touchdowns with 170 plus yards. We now fall to a 5-7 record and will continue our next road trip against the Arizona Cardinals again. And if we lose this, it'll wrap up any chances of us making the playoffs. And things will continue to be more challenging moving forward because we will pretty much need to finish the end of the season without Abraham Lucas, who just returned from injury, and we will lose him for another 4 weeks. One of the most frustrating things about our defense this year is the lack of interceptions we've had, specifically from our corners. Nehemiah Pritchett is the only corner with a pick, and probably the one guy on defense I'm most disappointed in is Tariq Woolen. This was someone I had high hopes for, and with his athleticism, I thought it would be to his advantage. However, it's been missed tackles, missed assignments, and worst of all, not being able to secure easy picks. This was not the first time he's dropped interceptions, and I question if we can rely on him going forward, but he's got 5 games to prove me wrong. I do want to give some flowers even though it was a loss. I really like what I saw out of Jackson Smith and Jigba. It hasn't been this major breakout second year for him, but it hasn't been horrible as well. I do wish going into each game that I could get him the ball more, but his release and lack of explosive speed makes it difficult to find him on certain routes. However, these last couple of games, he's made some big plays, and this was by far his best game of the year, and hopefully he can build on this and continue to get better. If we lose against the Cards, then I will make the last 4 games into 2-game episodes and just wrap up the season, since that will most likely mean we're out of the playoffs. But before that happens, we do have a breakout quarterback challenge and other storylines, so don't miss out on that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe and like the video. That would be greatly appreciated, and I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. I'm Monkey C, and I'm out.